right, everybody, let's get to work. What's going on? It's your man Mario, host of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here. Just doing what we do, people, on Beat Break Radio 87 FM, Atlanta's independent news station. We just trying to get into it. There's a lot of stuff we want to unpack going into today's show. So we ain't gonna even waste time. We just gonna get right into it. Y'all know, since the last time we talked, we have a new president-elect. So that's something to be, thankful for. We got that going on. And if you're a video gamer, people, the PlayStation 5 has dropped. The Xbox Series X has dropped. And if you didn't pre-order either one of them, you can't get your hands on damn one of those games. So if you're a gamer, it's a good time and a sad time, because it's going to be a lot of gamers out there who are not real gamers going to have their hands on these damn systems trying to turn an extra profit on them, which you can't be mad. That's the American way. If you're stupid enough to pay $2,000 or $1,000 for something that costs $500, then that's on you. More power to you. I mean, we were built on the backs of capitalism. I mean, really on slaves, but capitalism, and that's what's going on right now, and don't forget, we out here in these digital streets, people. You can find me everywhere that there is Random Select, everywhere that there are podcasts. I'm sorry, I said Random Select, but y'all know what I mean. We definitely in the streets. Don't forget, you can go to randomselect.com. And you can find me there doing everything that we supposed to be doing out there in them streets. I'm trying to get the episodes up there as quickly as I possibly can, so y'all bear with me on that. And we're out there on all the social media platforms. If you see us out there in them streets, please holler, like, share, subscribe, comment, let us know, that we putting in this work, and that keeps us motivated and make us want to keep putting in that work. So yeah, I thank y'all for that. Love it. You guys be giving me wonderful feedback, and sometimes I get not so good feedback, but that's okay as well, because you can't have one without the other. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to take criticism however it come. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to do that. You gotta be able to take the good with the bad. That's just the way this thing works. That's just the way it has always worked, and that's just the way it's gonna forever work. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you. I truly appreciate that. So what can I say that hasn't been said already about the presidential race? It's a lot of things that could be said, but this is one of them type of things where you just say, thank you, Lord. Thank you that the country woke up. Thank you that the country realized that there was an issue right at the very top, not in the middle, not at the bottom, but a big, gigantic ass issue at the very top. And we all banded together, if only for this one particular event, and we did something about it. And that you have to be really proud of. That is the type of thing that makes you want to stand up and say, I'm proud to be an American, because we got that one particular thing done. We saw that regardless of what color you are, what part of you in, you realize that, okay, something needs to change here. And we got together as Americans and changed that thing that needed to be changed. Now, it's not over. Now, we're not going to say that. It's definitely not over, but we're going to keep on. We're going to keep on keeping on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep on keeping on. So, at the very least, we're just saying thank you. Thank you. All right. Once again, it's amazing what we will and we won't do. And I understand 2020 has been one of them crazy years where you almost have to throw everything out the window, right? Because you just never know what's what. You just never know what diamond gonna end up coming up out the rough. You know, that diamond in the rough, what needle in the haystack you're gonna find. But the one thing's been really consistent is that every time you turn around, somebody dying. Every time you turn around, some company closing its doors. Every time you turn around, another outbreak, another hotspot is developing. It's just par for the course right now. It's just 2020 in a vacuum, in a nutshell. It's just what it is, and it's almost to the point where you come to expect it. You know, so the thing about COVID-19, that Rona, as we like to call it in the black community, that Rona, baby, you got that Rona, that Rona, baby. So, and that Rona will murder that ass, that Rona, baby. So, and it's one of them type of things where I can't say that it isn't real, because it definitely has hit my household. You know, 2 people in my household tested positive for corona. We had to do quarantine and that type of stuff, and it sucks. In the big scheme of things, 10 to 14 days is not a long time, but when you're so used to coming and going, doing what you want to do, and then they can't go anywhere, they can't come down to the kitchen, and then you gotta pretty much cook for them, provide meals for them. You gotta constantly clean, because you just never know what has come in contact with what you with the virus. It absolutely sucks. Which brings me to one of these other messed up points that a lot of dudes be saying. I could do 5 years standing on my head. I come to realize that people who talk like that, you just go ahead and distance yourself from them, because they talking shit. Those 10 to 14 days I had to look after my son, and he's 16, going up and down them damn steps. And this wasn't even prison. I could go outside and get some fresh air. I could sit on the back porch or sit in the garage, have a cigar, take a drink or something like that. But them not being able to go to school, you know, and because everybody in the house had to quarantine, people couldn't go to work, people couldn't go to school, and just having, you know, your family around you 24/7, 7 days a week, made you realize that you value your time away. I value coming out doing the shows. I value, you know, being able to go sit on the porch, or go sit in the garage and enjoy myself. You don't realize just how relaxing that downtime is, because when you got people that are quarantined, they can't share common areas with you. So every little thing, you know, you got to do for them, and you never realize how tedious or how hard to please some people are. They downright get on your goddamn nerves. You never realize how much a person eat till you gotta constantly bring them their food. You be like, so this is why the grocery bill is high. You eat like this when I'm not around, or on a regular basis every day, because every 20-30 minutes you're talking about you want a snack. You know, you make up something to eat, and then they say you only gave me a little bit of this, and they got a plate full. Every 20 minutes they want something to drink. You be like, my God, is it me, or I just wasn't fucking paying attention? Because it'll either make you grow closer to a person when you getting to know a person, or it will absolutely, without question, drive a wedge between y'all ass. Because keep in mind, sometimes when you've been around a person a long time, you tend to forget some of the little quirks that they have, some of the little nuances that make you say, if we wasn't so deep in this is the type of shit that made me stop messing with you. You know what I mean? If we wasn't so deep in this, I promise I probably wouldn't call you back, because this shit get on my nerve. You heard me? But you deal. You know what I mean? That's all you could do. You deal. You know, and I realized just how spoiled my son is. He's 16. And I realized that when on the backside of the quarantine, once they came out the quarantine, I realized there were some changes in this household need to be made, and need to be made immediately, because I will not stand for this. Your Honor, please instruct the witness to answer my question. May I treat the witness as hostile, Your Honor? Yes, you may treat the witness as hostile. Something has to change because we give them too much. They get stuff no matter what their behavior is, no matter what they do in school, and because we do give that to it, and I'm part of the problem too. You feel like you want to do things for, you want to make them happy, but it still has to be a system of checks and balances. It made me realize that my kids are spoiled to the fucking core, and when I sit back and just really look at it, I go, how did we get here? I'm ashamed of this shit. You know what I mean? How do we get here? How do I fix this? How do I get it to the point where they need to understand that the value of stuff, the value of $1, the value of taking care of your stuff and not just treating it like it's any just ragtag type of thing where you could just get another one. You know what I mean? Some stuff you can't replace. Some stuff has sentimental value, and some stuff has value that's irreplaceable because it costs too much to replace. Struggle to get it for you the first time, and now you're treating it all cavalier. So the question is, how do I get it back? And I said all this to say that protect yourselves when you're out there, because the COVID is real. Wear your mask, people. I know a lot of you people feel like wearing the mask is like the second coming of, I don't know, somebody just trying to take all your rights and stuff. But I'm just trying to tell you, people, it's a real ass thing. You cannot wear your mask and you can fuck around if you want to. But I'm here to tell you, after going through this quarantining thing with positive people in the house, it sends a little shock to your system. It sends a little scare to your system because you don't know if these people are going to make it. Even though their symptoms didn't get really bad, you don't know if you're sleeping in the middle of the night, something turns or it gets really bad. They get short of breath, can't catch their breath and die in their sleep. Ultimately, I'm not a scary type of person, or a person that jumps to conclusions and make all type of wild assumptions and go to all these different absurdities. But even I had to admit there were times where I got down on my knees and I prayed to God and say, watch over everybody, protect these people and let this virus not take hold, in them, because I don't want to lose my son. You know what I mean? So it's one of them type of things where once you get past that part of it and you realize they're going to be okay, then now you got to focus on this part I'm talking to y'all about now, about how you realize that certain things about certain people you absolutely can't stand. You realize that your goddamn kids are spoiled, and we have to change this, because I told them, I say, hey, from this point forward, y'all got to, we go into some type of, I don't know what type of earned system that I'm going to come up with, but I'm going to come up with something that's something that they can quantify, something that they can understand, that they can look at and say, you didn't do this, so therefore you don't get that. The days of just giving them shit has to be over, because it's helping develop. I don't have any remorse or consequences for doing stuff, because you just feel at some point I wait them out and we gonna get shit. You know what I mean? And that's how they treat stuff. So if y'all got any suggestions or how I should go about this, I'm definitely willing to listen. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, DM me and say, hey, look, I got some ideas of how you can make your kids earn stuff, because in my mind, I just want to go back to the old school. Do as I say, not as I do. And then if I feel you deserve it, then I get it for you. You know what I'm saying? If I feel you don't deserve it, then you know what I'm saying? Fuck you. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what I'd say to the kids, but sometimes that's the way they make you feel. That's the way they make you feel. Like sometimes, some of y'all may can relate to this. Sometimes, do you see those kids who be talking to the parents or in a way where it almost seems like the parents work for them? Where you be like, why are you letting that person talk to you like that? Or that couldn't be me. And that's the first thing you say, oh, that couldn't be me. And you don't even realize that your kids do talk to you like that. Maybe not to that extreme, but in some weird manner, they talk to you like that. They may not be brothers and sisters of the way that person talk, but the way your kids talk to you, or close cousins to the way that kid talks to their parent. Cause let's face it, my homeboy Decatur May made me realize something the other day. We was talking on the phone and he heard my son say something in the background, and he said, boy, times have changed. Because if I would have said that to my mom, that would have been the last thing you said that night. And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, damn, you know what, he right. Because if you got caught speaking out of turn, or you got caught being in grown folks' business, you was gonna have fire and brimstone rain down on you that you wish you would have. You would have been in the bed, in your bed doing that cry. Ain't no tears coming out. You ain't really sobbing. All you doing is heaving. You'd have been doing that type of crying, because you would have got, without a doubt, fucked up. Period, point blank, no questions asked. All you would have heard is Michael Buffer come in and going, and still heavyweight champion of the world, yo mama. you understand what I'm saying? So, combined with the corona, combined with what the Cater Made Dave said on the phone, I'm about to do some wholesale changes around my household. And I know they ain't gonna like it, but who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? I know they ain't gonna like it, but at this particular point, I don't care. It's time to try it. They say once the cat's out the bag, you can't get him back in. And I say, au contraire, mon frère. Au touché, my friend. Just because the cat's out the bag, I'm gonna grab the cat by the neck and stuff his ass back in the bag. Because I'm gonna get this thing, my mission in 2021. Is first and foremost survive 2021, because we just got to pray to God that it's not like 2020. But my mission is to get them kids back to a point where they understand they got to earn it. You know what I mean? They got to earn it. And that's pretty much what I want to talk about in that, first little thing right there. It's just that COVID-19 made me realize that I got to change my parenting style. Straight up, no special effects, just good old-fashioned, nose to the grind parenting. Not trying to be my kids' friends, because they got friends that they could be friends with, and that's frankly not my role. Not interested in that at all. But there are going to be some things that I'm going to switch up and I'm going to change, because I simply want to. All right, we're going to leave that there. All right, let's get into this PlayStation 5. Yes, I am a video game player. I don't care who knows it. Don't care who knows it. Yes, I admit. Hi, my name is Mario. Yes, I'm 46 years of age. And yes, I'm a video gamer. How long have you been a video gamer, Mario? I want to say the majority of my life I've been playing video games since Pong. The first system that I owned myself was an Atari 2600, and I've been hold on, this is hard for me, and I've been hooked ever since. Yes, I've been hooked ever since. I've had so many different systems, and I know for the type of audience that I have for this podcast, this is probably not going to appeal to you whatsoever, because I talk about so much other serious type stuff, or so much other stuff that's going on in my life, that I rarely talk about video games and things like that. Excuse me. But the reason I don't, because I get to talk video games with my daughter on our other podcast called Watch Family Gaming. So if you just happen to know somebody who's into gaming, or you're into gaming yourself, please give it a shot. Go to YouTube or on Anchor.com or anywhere that you listen to your podcast, just like you're listening to this on platform. Go check out Watts Gaming with the Watts podcast. All right, back to our regularly scheduled programming. So, the PS5 dropped, and I am a PlayStation person. Never really cared for Xbox, and I know people who listen to video games are saying that's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. Why would you say such a thing? It's blasphemy. I tell you, Mario, you, sir, are not a gamer. I am very much so a gamer. I just prefer doing my gaming on PlayStation. So the PlayStation 5 came out when the first original rounds pre-order came out. I said I really didn't care. I'll get it when I get it. But once those first pre-orders went out, I didn't care. But then as it got closer to the launch and I started seeing people doing unboxings on YouTube and stuff, a funny thing happened along the way. What? I caught the fever. Yes, I caught the fever. The fever for the flavor of a Pringle? No, not a Pringle, a PS5. So I did my due diligence and looked around like like 10 million other people did, and try to find a place that may have one. No one had one. And then on yesterday, Walmart had this thing where they was releasing games at I think it was 12, 3, 6, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I tried to get one each and every time, and it turned out to be, fugazi. Turned out to be bull BS. So when I finally did get a chance to get to a certain point before it kicked me out for the system crash, it said that shipping wouldn't be happen to August 24th. So which means I won't get the regular 2-day shipping that Walmart normally provides, which means that Walmart does not actually have these consoles, these units on hand. Effectively, what Walmart did was take pre-orders all day yesterday. And whenever Sony send them the system, they will send it to you. And I think personally that's some underhanded back alley bullshit. You know what I mean? If you got the systems in hand, then say you got them in hand, then give everybody the regular 2-day shipping and get them their PS5. But to tell people that they wasn't going to be able to receive it till August the 24th around Thanksgiving means you don't have them in warehouse. You don't actually have them in hand. You're selling these units with the promise from Sony that they will get them to you in time enough for you to fulfill those orders. And I could be totally wrong, but I don't think so. I think all day yesterday, all they did was give you pre-orders. I believe that with my whole heart. It's nothing, nobody can tell me that that's all they really did was give everybody pre-orders. And I don't know, man. I just think that if you ain't got them, you ain't got them. But I know the one thing, as a person who has a product or a service, the one thing you don't want to let your customers know is that you can't handle their needs because you feel that may drive them elsewhere. And ultimately, it will drive them elsewhere because I looked all over. But I was one of the people who really, truly didn't care about pre-ordering. Had the opportunity to do it. Had a guy friend of mine call me from GameStop and said, "Hey, look, I know you into this. You got a chance to pre-order?" I said, "No, I don't really care, man." Looking back at that, as the little YouTube thing used to say, this is the point where Mario realized he fucked up. Yes, I totally screwed that up, because as it got to the point where seeing everybody playing the games, I totally wanted to play the game. I totally wanted to be one of the people that had one. But then after that was the kind of like the gamer in me or the kid in me. But once I see how Walmart was doing that, made it where the website kept crashing and let you put it to the cart, but you couldn't actually check out, and then they put it in the save file, then the adult in me went, fuck this, and then they say, oh, we'll have some another time. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to wait until I can walk in a store and buy me one. You know what I mean? Or wait till I can just order me one online. I'm not waiting in anybody line again. I'm not lining up in the virtual pig pen or like sheep or cattle. I'm not doing any of that shit again. I'm just going to wait until it's actually available. You will not get me with that again. Whether it be Walmart, Best Buy, Target, no matter what retailer, Amazon, or directly straight from PlayStation. I will not be purchasing the PlayStation 5 until it is readily available. And I'm pretty sure there are millions of other people who feel just like me. Wait, what? I'm alone in that sentiment? Oh, okay. Well, just realized that I'm probably alone in that sentiment, but either way, that's just my personal take on it. I will not, above anything else, give them the satisfaction of getting my money or letting me be herded in like a sheep. I just will not do it. Cannot, will not do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's that. Now, with all that being said, here's the hypocrite coming out of me. If one of my kids find one and they just say, Dad, it's available, then I will pick it up because I am a gamer. And like I said, I have the fever and I want a PS5. But I just don't want to be treated like sheep to get the PS5. If that makes any sense to anybody out there, I just want to be treated like a decent person. I just want to be able to walk in the store and buy just like anybody else would be able to do it, you know? So, call me crazy. Call me, just selfish or whatever. Either way it go, I feel that I should be able to go into the store and buy me one. All right, that's probably one of the last times you'll hear me talk about video games on this particular podcast because, it's out. It's what everybody going through right now. And so, yeah, I'm talking about it. So, let's talk about one other quick little subject, just a little quickie. Sometimes it's good to get a little quickie in. You don't have that full time to get all, what I'm saying, deep off up in that thing. Sometimes you have to do a quickie just so you can let the person know that I am here. And then that person can let you know that they are there. And sometimes, it's just is what it is. And 9 times out of 10, let's be honest, quickies tend to benefit the band. I mean, pretty sure it's a man who invented the quickie. She said, no, baby, we don't have enough time. We could just do it kind of quickie. And she went, okay, if it'll get you out my face. And I really believe sometimes a woman will do quickies sometimes just to get our ass out their face. They get nothing out of it. I mean, all they just pretty much is head bobbing if they're getting hit from the back, and until you done, and then they move on with their business, and then it totally benefit you, and you be walking away thinking that, boy, that was amazing, that was great, and she walked away thinking, God, not again, just gotta sit there and take the pounding. But he got out my face, and he's happy, and chances of him paying the rent this month are very high. So, win-win. Quickie. Yes, quickie. Been benefiting men ever since the beginning of time. Now, the quickie can work for the woman if it's a quickie where you're pretty much going down on her. Now, if it's that type of quickie where you just kind of do your thing, let her, let that water flow, and then, that's how the quickie can work for her. Now, if it's that type of woman who just really loves, oral like that, the quickie would definitely work for her, and she'll be more apt to break you off something if you just quickie, she just come and say, baby, I really did this thing, I really did this thing, eating, baby, can you just give me like a little quickie? And then you go, God, this girl is addicted to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't really want to do it because she always say quickie, Then the quickie turns into you can't feel your jaws, you can't feel your nose, your face, your tongue. You don't even know if you wagging anymore. It's to the point where your tongue done froze up and you ain't even moving no more. She's got your head and she's got your head going back and forth like one of them things at Walmart when they cutting you off cold cutting meat, when they be going back and forth. Yang, yang, yang. That's the way she running your head back and forth fast as hell. Yeah, at that point you kind of done blacked out. You dizzy because all you doing is going back and forth like this, and until she finally stopped and she just squeezed the hell out your head like she Ivan Koloff with the iron claw on your head. That's how you know she done hit her point, because she just squeezed the hell out your head. Any other time she can't lift a sofa, she can't move no type of furniture, she can't open up a jar or anything like that. Any other time she act like she is a 50-pound weakling. But as soon as she come, she squeezed the hell out your head. You know what I'm saying? Like like all she do is dunk bowling balls for a living. So yeah, that's why I say the quickies. It just depends on what kind of quickie is. The quickie for us, when it comes to the sexual part, usually tends to work out for us. The quickie when it comes to the oral tends to work out for the woman. You know what I mean? Because she, they always, it's going to be quicker than always be that woman who could come quick if you called her. You know what I mean? So, but it never turns into, and you just, like I said, you just done, every saliva gland you got in your mouth has dried up because you've been down there so long. To the point where you've been down there so long, you start thinking of other stuff. You on cruise control. You ain't even thinking about is she game. You ain't even thinking about it. Are you pleasing her? You keep thinking, who the fuck playing Thursday night football tonight? It's gonna be another boring ass game, or it's gonna be a good matchup. Until finally you get that, your brain checked back in. When the brain feels it's being squeezed, that's when you kick back into reality and oh, thank you God, she has come. Cause my eyes about to pop out my head. She's squeezing so hard, so I know this is about to be over. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to y'all about how quickies are different depending on what's being done as far as the quickie go. You know what I mean? Because when we doing our quickie, most quickies turn out, I just want to hit you real quick from the back, baby, and move on. And then we at the back, we going all crazy, eyes roll all in the back out here. We swear we doing things and you don't even realize she chewing a piece of bubble gum, chewing gum. You just back there banging and all. She like, are you done yet? And then you don't even, she's so cavalier with it. You don't even say, baby, why you talking to me like that? Ain't you enjoying this? She be like, hurry up, man, come. You're like, okay, baby, I'm almost there. Cause that's the thing, y'all, the women, don't understand. Y'all be talking to us like we really care that y'all not into it. Y'all be talking to us like we, like we gonna say, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. Has a man ever really stopped? No matter what insult you're giving him, you can tell him doing sex, I hate your mama, I hate your daughter, I hate your kids, I hate everything about you. That's fine, baby. I'm about to. And then a lot of times we won't even revisit it. All right, baby, see you next week. See you next week, you bastard. So I don't know. I just see it as quickies are great. Just depending on what perspective that you're looking at the quickie from. You know what I mean? Alright guys, I'm gonna leave that right there. You've been hanging out with your man Mario inside of the Random Select Podcast. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk right here on Beat Break 87 FM. After the break, we're gonna talk about a lot of other stuff, a lot of other things. And things, I mean news and all the stuff that's going on in the news. Maybe, just a lot of other stuff. I have no clue. It's the Random Select. We talk about whatever we want, whenever we want. All right? Coming up after the break. All right, guys, we're back in from the break, and I just want to tell you guys, thank you for hanging out with your man Mario. Y'all know how that go. It has been a pleasure to hang out with you guys doing what we do. I truly love what we do. Can't even complain. It makes my day to be able to get on this podcast and share my thoughts, share my feelings, and share everything personal inside my life and inside my world and inside this crazy ass head of mine, inside the mind of Mario. Yeah, thank you guys for hanging out. I just want to say it's been one of those type of things where the podcast, it gives you a lot of chances to get a lot of crap off your chest, you know what I mean, and without this I might be walking around as one pent up angry adult. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for that. Yeah. So with that being said, don't forget to go to therandomselect.com. We're out there in them streets everywhere that podcast and all that is. We're in them digital streets. Don't forget therandomselect.com. I'm getting the episodes up there as fast as I possibly can. And don't forget, we out there in them digital streets everywhere that podcast is at. The Random Select is out there. Don't forget that you can click that listen live button. It'll take you where you need to be as far as getting into the show Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time, 8 to 10. That's where we're at. That's what we do, and I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. We're on Spotify, Google Play, Google Podcasts. There's no more Google Play. All the places that you like to listen, and you could definitely check out me live every night, Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time from 8 to 10 p.m. on the TuneIn app. Like I said, you can go to beatbreakradiofm.com, click the listen live, listen now button to bring you into it, or you can go to therandomselect.com, click that listen live button. It'll bring you into it, or you can just download the TuneIn app. Whatever your preference is, we got you. All right. In the first part of the show, I just talked about how COVID is real. People, wear your mask, do what you have to do, whatever it takes to get you through this crazy pandemic, this crazy COVID era. People, 2020 is one of them years that we just were at. I mean, if you was alive during 2020, and you were of a certain age of sound mind and body, 2020 is that year you would never, ever, 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 ever forget, So, and we just gotta, pour out a little look for all the people that didn't make it through 2020, especially for all the people that fell prey to the COVID-19, that Rona. For all the people that fell victim to, senseless gun violence, all the rappers and just all the people that passed, man. It's just been one of those years where, because we are inside most of the time and we're focused on a lot of different things that's not outside. You don't have a lot of stimuli outside to keep your mind focused. Just seems like a lot of people are dying because, one, they are, but two, we have nothing else to really focus on but that, So yeah, all you can do is just try your best to keep living, because there's no need to worry about certain things, because at some point that old Grim Reaper, Father Time, it catches up with everybody. Like they say, that old hare, that old rabbit, that old turtle catches up with that old rabbit eventually, no matter how fast the rabbit starts out, that old turtle slowly but for surely makes his way and he win the race. And that's all time is. Time ain't nothing but that old turtle catching up with that old hare, So yeah, it's nothing you can really do about it. But that's why I did a podcast a couple podcasts ago saying about life is nothing but a gap, the gap between you being born and the day that you die. And I tell you people all the time lately, I've really been thinking about what have you done with your gap. What have you done that has some type of significance to somebody else's life or even to your own life? What will be the thing that defines your gap? And if you don't know, if you haven't had that moment yet, as long as you're still here, you're still in the gap, do something about it. You know what I mean? Don't talk about it. As they let you say back in the day, don't talk about it, be about it. We talk, a lot of people talk a good game, but a lot of times people just like to talk to hear themselves talk. And sometimes you got to be wary of that, because you got people that'll lure you into that false sense of security with all that talking. Talk is good, but failure is one of them things. It's easy, baby. It don't take much to fail. Tell me who you know work really hard at failing. Failing is just right there outside of anybody's door. Failing is just right outside your grass. You don't have to work hard to fail. All you literally have to do to fail is stand still and do nothing. Failure is inevitable. Failure is at your front door when you sit inactive. Succeeding is hard. Nobody wants to put in the work to succeed. Nobody wants to put in the work to get to that point. We want the benefits of getting to that point. We always like to tell people that they lucky to get to a certain point. They lucky to get to where they're at. But as I tell you people all the time, luck don't have anything to do with it. Right? Luck is what you make it. Luck is being prepared for when your opportunity come and being able to recognize when your opportunity, because as I tell you guys all the time, you guys heard me say over the years on numerous podcasts, being prepared for the moment can happen to a lot of people. Your moment can happen for a lot of people, but are you prepared for that moment? A lot of things may fall in your lap, but a lot of people wasn't equipped to handle that moment. A lot of people wasn't ready. And that's one of my biggest fears is my moment come. If that moment get dropped in my lap, will I be ready? If that moment come, will I be able to look that moment in the face and say, baby, whoa, what took you so long? I've been waiting on you, baby. And they go, are you ready? And you go, shh, I was born ready. You know what I mean? So a lot of people just not ready when the opportunity come. They talk a big game. But if you got that one shot, as Eminem say, that one shot to blow your moment, could you really handle it? Would it really be in the cards for you? Or would the moment just be too big, swallow you up? Or you cave under the pressure, you suffocate because even you became a fan of your own talking. Hey, as Mama Watts used to say, my Mama May Rand used to say, you got to get up off your ass if you want to be rich. And I try to tell myself that every day. If I want to be rich, you want to be in shape, you want to eat better, you want to be disciplined. It starts by getting up off your ass and saying, okay, this is what I have to do. Because let me just be honest, some days, when it comes to recording a podcast, I really be like, don't feel like doing it, feel like I've said everything I have to say. I've talked all that I could possibly talk, and then I'll be like, days ain't nobody listening, no way, nobody want to hear what I got to say. And then I receive that stray DM, that stray message, or that stray email that says, we haven't heard from you, where you at? I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to you telling me about your stories, or telling me life from your point of view, or telling me about a situation from your point of view. When people say they start to look forward to that, then that puts a little juice in me, get me back into the flow of things, make me feel like, okay, I definitely can keep going. I definitely have a lot of stuff to talk about, because if you know me in my personal life, it's just a lot of things I just don't give a crap about. You know what I mean? You be seeing stories like such and such gymnast had a massive thigh gap with these black tight jeans or something on. I just don't give a fuck. That's not benefiting my life in no way, shape, form, or fashion. That's not solving an inherent problem that us as Americans have. You know what I mean? So I could care less about her thigh gap. It does nothing for me. It might be okay to look at. That's cool. But I'm to that point in my life. I've seen thousands and hundreds of thousands of women. I've seen bodies from all across the world, all around the globe. And at the end of the day, it's just that. Will you let the physicality, will you let the horniness, will you let the little horn dog and you take over and control whatever you got to do? I got a theory, like you hear plenty of rappers and plenty of entertainers and CEOs say, you take care of your business like you're supposed to take care of your business. That will come. There's not a man on this planet or a woman on this planet who hasn't made money and all the best of whatever didn't just automatically find them. You make enough money as a man, the best women, the prettiest women, the finest women and all that would tend to automatically flock to you. Now, they may not love you or may not truly care about you, but you make the money first and all that other stuff will come. Now, when you get a little money, will you be able to find true love or happiness the way that you want it or the way you would normally would? Probably not. But there was a few needle in the haystacks, a few diamond in the roughs, where you tend to find that person that's right for you, or find that situation that's right for you. Cause look at it like this: in today's world, we too busy worrying about finding the right person and finding the right person that has to match up with all 15 things on your list, everything. Well, I kick them to the curb because they don't have one thing that's on your 15 thing checkpoint list. So you got to stop looking at people like their accessories, like they cars or something like this, that in order for me to sell this car, the car has to go through a 15-point service safety check before we can sell it to a person, right? I understand the car, but for you to try to tell me you want a person that match up with every little thing that you put on the list, you're almost setting yourself up for failure, because there's no one person out there that truly matches us 100% right from top to bottom, from front to back, left to right. You're gonna have to be able to find a person that you feel with what they got lines up with what I like. For the most part, they got more things that I like than things that I do not like. Now, I'm not saying to just take any old person that falls off the turnip truck, go to find your local, underpass and just go grab somebody off and under the underpass that's sleeping there. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not just saying that as a lady go grab a man who most nights he spend huddled up with some of his other bum friends, putting his hands over a fire coming up out of some barrel. No, I'm not saying that at all. And same thing, fellas. I'm not saying you go get somebody who's staying with her mama, got 5 kids living in the mama basement on public housing, but she's sitting around, wishing for that rich man. I'm not saying that, and that brings me to another point, but I'm gonna get to that point after I finish making this point. But what I'm saying is this: if you got 15 things on the checklist and you kick a good person to the curb, kick them out to the wind and cast them off because they don't match up with all 15 things, but let's say they match up with 11 of your 15, then you as a person really got to do some soul searching, really got to do some things, because this is the thing that people kill me about when they make lists like that, right? Okay, follow me when I say this. This is the thing that kills me. We always make those type of lists, me included, you included, everybody within the sound of my voice are looking at this video. We always make those lists assuming that we are perfect, right? You make those lists saying that this person has to match up with, 15 things on my list. But you never ever look at it from the standpoint that, what if that person has a list and you don't match up to the 15 things on their list? Say they match up to all 15 of yours. Then you say, okay, I got me a person I could be with that person. Then they come to you and say, hey, you know what? I got this list and I'm gonna have to let you go. Being real with you, being forthright up front with you. You don't match but 11 of my 15. I'm gonna have to let you go. Now, if that is the case, would you be receptive and saying, okay, I get it, because that's the same way you would be? Or would you feel some type of way when you felt like y'all was vibing and you felt like, okay, this is somebody I really could see me investing some major time in, really getting to know going forward? Or would you feel like you're pissed because they didn't even give you a chance to let things progress to a certain point, even though by your own admission you said that that person matched 11 out of 15 things? Now, if you have a few things on that 11 out of that 15 things list that's a complete deal breaker, like they can't do drugs, or they can't be addicts, or they can't steal, or they can't be murderers, or they cannot be. Everybody got deal breakers, right? I'm not saying that. Now, if out of the 11 that one of your deal breakers is not met by the person, I get that, right? Because you can't accept someone when you say to me, this is an absolute deal breaker that he snorts cocaine. but you still go with that person anyway, and then all of a sudden y'all start having a problem because he snorts cocaine. Now, I'm not asking you to go against your deal breakers. Now, that's something else. Don't go against your deal breakers, because they have been slotted as your deal breakers for a reason. They really are the things that I cannot, will not tolerate. So I get that. Don't ever compromise with your deal breakers. Those are the things that you put in place as your fail safe to say, I might can't recognize anything else, but my deal breakers I recognize, and I will not compromise with that, because those are the ones that'll keep me from really going into some messed up areas. You know what I'm saying? Going into some real fucked up places because I decided to go against my deal breaker, right? So, yeah. So, but sometimes we're way too picky, and then we're not the person that we think we are. A lot of people look in the mirror, and what you see 9 times out of 10, what your eyes see is not what you are. It takes somebody unbiased who's been around you for a long time to really look at you and see you for how you are. Not even me. We don't look at ourselves in the proper light. We all got trick mirrors in our homes. Even though if somebody was to take your mirror and my mirror, put them somewhere in a laboratory, have them tested up, and they will come out to be plain old, ordinary, regular ass mirrors, right? But not to us. And to us, in that mirror, we see everything glowing and special about us. We don't see any of our flaws. To us, that is a flaw-free mirror when we're looking at it. But when somebody else go look into that mirror, you can see every flaw that they have. You can tell them everything about themselves that make them not something that you would want to be with, or something that you think that they should tweak or fix before they go out to try to be with somebody else. But when you look in that mirror, baby, all you see is A1 perfection. As far as you concerned, the person who's looking in that mirror with you ought to be damn lucky that you letting them gaze upon your magnificence. But unfortunately, we both know that that's not true. That's not real. Like I said, you go get the mirrors tested somewhere at any laboratory, and they'll tell you that there's regular mirrors. But the truth of the matter is, when we all looking in the mirrors, they funhouse mirrors, baby. They trick mirrors, because we don't see any flaws or imperfections, right? And then for some people, their funhouse mirrors in the other way. Some people, when they look in that mirror, all they see is their flaws and imperfections, how big their nose is, how wide their lips are, how much acne they have. They, for whatever reason, all they can see is all the ugly stuff piled on top of the beautifulness. They can't see nothing productive or nothing beautiful about them. All they can see is that maybe my eyes too far apart. My nostrils are too wide. My eyebrows are about to touch. My eyelashes, one eyelash long, one eyelash short. They can't ever see the beautiful person in them. And then when someone comes along and tell them that they're beautiful, they tend to don't believe it, because they see what they want to see in them damn trick mirrors. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Sometimes we be too hard on other people, and we be too hard on ourselves. But there are times where the harshness needs to be. When a lot of people say, I'm just keeping it real, sometimes keeping it real is just a defense mechanism. Sometimes you try to keep it real when you're trying to tell people how you see them, because you're trying to deflect for somebody really trying to tell you how you really are. Sometimes the hardest thing in the world is for people to keep it real, because you notice everybody who claim they keep it real can keep it real with everybody else, but they can't stand the fact if you was to break them down to their very last compound. Strip them down and judge them and tell them everything about themselves, quote unquote, under the banner of keeping it real. Next time you get a person in your life who claim that they keep it real with them, and see how they just don't like it. See how that they just, it's something about keeping it real that rubs them the wrong way. But they get off on that. You know what I mean? They get off on that whole keeping it real thing. You know what I mean? So, I know that's a lot to unpack, but I was saying all that to say, people, that sometimes when we as people, we judge other people so harsh, when we sometimes are not the best people ourselves. And because sometimes we have that unrealistic expectations of other people, we tend to realize that sometimes the expectations that we put out that other people have in us, sometimes you can't live up to their expectations. But we don't ever judge it from that standpoint. We always judge it from the standpoint of me, which is normal, which is okay, because that's what human nature say we do. Human nature say you take care of you. Your whole body, your whole existence, everything about you is built to survive. Everything about you is built to survive. So it's normal for you to take care of you, right? But sometimes we've got into what have you done for me lately society, where all we care about is us, that we tend to forget sometimes in a relationship there is another person. Sometimes in a friendship there is another person. Sometimes when you at work, or when you at the grocery store, you try to push a cart or beat somebody to a cash register, there is another person. Sometimes if we as humans was to bring back just a little skosh of humanity and understand that I care about the next person, and I hope that the next person will care about me, sometimes you think about a few things that you do before you do it. But we're not built like that. This is America, baby. This land of the free, home of the brave, home of the scammers, home of the what about me, home of the selfish bastards. You know what I'm saying? That should be our motto as American. You know, America, home of the selfish bastards. You know what I mean? So I just say, as a person who been down that road where I've seen both sides of the fence, I've definitely did my thing where I've cared about everybody except me. And I've definitely had my moment, especially when I was younger, where I cared about nobody except me. You know what I mean? So I've been on both sides of the coin, and what I realize is you got to find a healthy balance between the two. It's okay to have a good, warm, caring heart, but you got to have a good, warm, caring heart to a point where you can't let people take advantage of you, right? But at the same time, when you're selfish, nothing ever good comes from being selfish. You may get what you need to get for the moment, but in the long run, you realize that moment where you could have shared, or where you could have made an impact in somebody else's life, and you didn't, and sometimes it just come back on you when you be selfish, when you know you truly could have. Not selfish in the fact that I only got $5 and I need these $5 to put in my tank to get back and forth to work, even though he asked me to borrow $5. No, I'm not talking about that type of selfishness, because you can't help nobody till you can help yourself. And if I can't get back and forth to work, then guess what? It ain't no need for both of us out here asking people for $5, because if I don't go to work, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna be right here asking you for $5 that you ain't got, because you sitting right here asking me for $5. No, I'm not saying give nobody your last. That's a big misconception we got. I'll give you the shirt off my back. Well, what's the situation? What's going on? What is the reason that I need to give you the shirt off my back? Is it a type of nice day where I could afford for the moment to let you wear my shirt because I won't be too hot or too cold? If I give you the shirt off my back, then where did that leave me? Because at the end of the day, if I give you the shirt off my back, either way it goes, somebody's going to be shirtless. Either you, because you need it off my back, or either me when I give it to you. So I got to really deduce in my head, which one of us would I prefer to be shirtless? Me or you? Because technically I already got a shirt. What did you do for you to lose your shirt? Certain questions you have to ask. You just can't blindly give. Because if he was careless and he was real cavalier with his shirt, then why would I give you mine? Because that's the same way you would be, with my shirt, the same way you lost your shirt. So it's kind of a system of give and balances, checks and balances, give and take. I just say that sometimes when we being harsh on people, when it comes to love and it comes to relationship, sometimes look at a situation and say, I'm not telling you to settle, but I'm trying to tell you that sometimes you find a person that's really good for your life, and you turn him down just because he make $35,000, not $50,000. Instead of being that driving force in his life that maybe could help him find another job or get him back into school. But he does everything else. He treats you good. He good with your kids, good with his kids. He look out for your mama. He does everything he has to do. But because that one thing don't match up on your list, he don't make $50,000, you let him go. See, when you sacrifice your happiness like that, then you really, really have to question what type of person you are from the get-go. And that's all I'm saying. And I'm going to leave that right there. I'm going to leave that right there where that's at. And I just want to say thank you guys for hanging out with me in this particular portion of the show. Show is halfway over. After this, I'm going to talk about 5 things in 5 minutes. Well, not 5 things in 5 minutes. I'm going to talk about 5 different subjects, but only going to spend 5 minutes on the subject. So, thank you. And I will catch you guys after the break. You're listening to your man Mario inside of the Random Select Podcast. Y'all know what it is. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk, and the podcast that lets you know podcasts can be turned all the way up. And we'll definitely catch you guys after the break. All right, keep it locked. All right, we're back. We're back, getting ready to close out the show in a little bit. We're down on the backside of the show. You're hanging out with your man Mario inside of the Random Select Podcast. Y'all know what it is. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk, and the podcast that lets you know that talk can be turned all the way up right here on Beat Break 87 FM. It's Everything Podcast right here, part of the Reach One Network. Don't forget you can find the Random Select Podcast at therandomselect.com. Go there, click on the podcast tab. You can find all the latest episodes there. You can listen to them straight from there, or you could download them. Or don't forget you can listen to me live by clicking that link on the home page where it says Listen Live. Or you can download that TuneIn app and listen to us right there as well. Also, don't forget that we out there in them digital streets everywhere, that there's podcast, all the different places. You know, you can catch Beat Break Radio and the Random Select Podcast and all that good stuff, you know. All right. With that being said, I am your host, Mario, and we're halfway through the show, on the back stretch of the show. So I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You know, it's one of those type of things where you just love it. It's no two ways about it. You know what I mean? You guys help me get through a lot of stuff, and there's no other way I could ever repay you guys but to say, you know, thank you. And we're just going to keep it rolling, keep it moving. Just thanks out real quick to some of the people that help make the show possible, that always give me words of encouragement, that gives me positive things to make me feel like I want to just keep going on. You know, shout out to the station manager, Sean Garvey. Shout out to our resident wild man, Jeff is Moody. You know, shout out to all the people that's on Beat Break 87 FM. Shout out to Crystal Whitsitt. She's always support. Really a good friend of the show. And all my homies, you know, Dave, Frost Giant, Jacko Dan 36, Valencia Hayward, and Carlotta Riggins, part of the original crew of the Random Select Podcast. Just want to big shout out to all those people right there. Without those people, you know, there could be no Random Select Podcast. I keep chugging, you know, 4 years, keep on chugging along, you know what I mean? That's all you could do. You know, when anybody asks me where I'm going, I always say that way. I don't know where that way gonna lead me, but I'm always telling them I'm going that way. I already know what's back there. I've been back there. I know my past, you know, got a checkered past. I know that part. I'm more interested in trying to figure out what's that way. You know what I mean? You know, so, yeah, thank you. So we're going to get into what we talking about in this part of the show. And I just wanted to tell people that we got to, as human beings, as adults, we got to stop playing these games, man. Because the games get people killed, games get people hurt. Playing these games, you know, make people put their heart on the line when you really ain't trying to do nothing with them. But I understand why people play games, because it's like most people say, just tell me the truth and I can handle it. Why won't you just be honest? I promise if you tell me, I won't get mad. So we've heard that 1,000 times, especially as men, and I'm speaking from the man standpoint. We've heard that 1,000 times. And soon as you tell them the truth, they get fucking mad. So when you hear that phrase, just tell me the truth, I won't get mad. That is the one thing that you know that's a cop out. Because soon as you tell them what you holding on to, oh, for certain, they ass gonna get mad. Because sometimes they already be knowing. They just need you to confirm it. They just need you to take away any doubt. They just need you to not to so they don't have to listen to their friends. They don't have to listen to their co-workers. They don't have to listen to their family member. They can take it right from you. Cause deep down inside, a woman know when we doing them wrong. A woman know when we fucking them over. A woman got that woman's intuition, and that's me as a grown man sitting here right here today at 46 years old. I'm here to tell you that a woman's intuition is a real ass thing. Cause a woman's intuition work in funny ways. And I don't even know if they know this, but I just know over the years of me paying attention to it very closely and me doing a lot of fuck shit that I shouldn't be doing, a lot of stuff that just isn't right, a lot of stuff that if was done to me, I would have dropped a lot of people, instantly, what I'm saying? Like they were hot, as soon as it touched my hand, as soon as my brain receptors realized that this is hot, I'm dropping it. That's how I would have dropped a relationship. But fortunately, if we being completely honest, women are just better than us. I mean, it's no two ways about it. Now, granted, in the last couple of years, they've definitely closed the gap in doing scrupulous stuff. Got a lot of women setting dudes up to be robbed. Got a lot of women that think they, boss bitches, as they say, and then they going out doing stuff, committing armed robbery, selling dope, and trying to be pimps and all this type of stuff. When I don't know if that's in their nature, but I mean, a guy told me a long time ago when I was coming up as a young buck, what I'm saying, a young G in the game, you feel me, Marty Ma. A guy told me that real pimps wear skirts. I learned this at around, 12 years old. Saying that, that if a woman really wanted to and she had game like that and her heart was on froze like that, her heart was an ice box. But she know how to mentally manipulate the man. A woman can get us to pretty much do anything they want us to do. You know what I'm saying? When the cards are played right. But most good, decent women come at you from the standpoint of they really trying to be with you. They really care about you. They really love you. Most women ain't coming at most good women, and I stress the term good woman. Most good women are coming at you from the standpoint they really care about you, really have affections for you. So they ain't trying to pull no BS on you. But I'm here to tell you guys, you know what I mean? We how long we gonna go before we keep playing these games? You know what I'm saying? I know most men don't want to be by themselves. I get it. And I know most men do a lot of things just trying to get to the point where they can hit. I get it. And that once upon a time in my life, that was me. You know what I mean? Once upon a time, I got it. I understand that, I get it. It's all about hitting, but you got to stop playing them games. You got to stop playing them games. Time is too valuable. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. You can't keep playing games, because if you keep playing those games, at the end of the day, you're going to find yourself broke, busted, disgusted, and lonely. And I don't care how hard of a dude you are. I don't care how hard of a man you claim to be. I don't care where you're from, what your background is. There ain't a single person, once you reach a certain age, wants to be alone. I don't care if it's just an old blind, deaf, dumb dog over in the corner. You glad that that's your old blind, deaf, dumb dog, because nobody truly wants to be alone, because we as humans were not ever meant to be alone. Look at all the stories about Noah's Ark 2 by 2. Look at Adam and Eve. Look at everything. Everything is paired up. Just look at your body. Everything has two. You got 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, legs, arms. Everything is in pairs, because nothing that's ever going to function properly or happily or prosperous is going to do it alone. We are not to be meant to be alone. So that's why you got to stop playing games. As human beings, as grown men, when are we gonna get to a point where we can love these women right? Where the game plan is just null and void. When we gonna get to that point where the game plan is just null and void, where we feel that we can do what we have to do to love a woman? I just don't understand why we can't do that. I just don't know why as men we can't not play games. It's almost like playing games has become a rite of passage to us. And once again, I'm not standing on my high horse saying that I never was the type of person that played games, or I never was the type of person that broke a person's heart, or I never did lie, cheat, and stuff like that. Anybody know me, I'll be forthcoming about it and say, yeah, I did some things in my life that I'm definitely not proud of. But at the end of the day, when I look back at things and I stop and I think and I say, man, it was all a waste of time. Because ultimately, the people that you did this with are no longer in your life. And sometimes you struggle to even remember their names. You just remember a certain situation, or maybe how they had their hair. Yeah, you remember the girl with the red hair. You can't even remember her name. And I always say, if you was in any situation with a person or entity, and you cannot remember their name, that encounter was not anything that was life altering or earth moving, then that was a for naught instance. As men, we tend to enjoy one pointless encounter after another, but as long as it's considered a notch on our belt, you feel like you're Hercules. You feel like you done some things, and ultimately that's all they end up being, just one pointless encounter after another. Because as men, if you're listening to this, just think about it. I just want you to do this one particular exercise for me. I just want you to go back over your life and the moment where you broke somebody's heart, or you got caught cheating, or you got caught telling lies, and think about the person that you got caught with. Can you even remember their name, or can you remember the circumstances, or was it anything that you could look back on and say, if you had the opportunity to replay that, as they say, run that back, would you do it again? And I'm telling you, 99% of the time, the answer is no, unless you ended up with that person as your wife or a long-term person in your life, then okay. But I promise you, that is the very exception to the rule. I promise you, that's not the norm. I promise you, if you took a poll, most guys, 99% of guys would tell you it wasn't worth it. Because everything that I potentially did to burn my house down was not worth it. When you look back at it and you think about the effect that cause when you look back at it, you at the time when you're going through it, you just think about it there. You know what I mean? You just think about right then and right there. You don't think about the effects that it have somewhere down the line. Especially you don't think about the effects of when you're dealing with the kids, because a lot of us do stuff when kids are young and we think it don't have no effect on them. Then one day when you sitting around in the most inconspicuous times, they bring up stuff that they remember that you never even thought was a part of their mental realm, but they bring it back up, and then all of a sudden you feel like a complete ass, because when they bring up certain things and they ask you remember such and such, what you were doing over there, and then you have to come back that original mistake by now telling a lie to deal with that. And then at the end of the day, when them kids get a little older and then they put it all together, they gonna realize that my father, my dad, just looked at me boldly in my face and lied to me about a situation. And I don't know too many people that take kindly to you lying to them about how you mistreated their mother. You know what I mean? So as men, we gotta understand that sometimes when we do our dirt, and when we say that old saying from the hood, do your dirt by your lonely. And I grew up on that mantra. I grew up in a place where you don't involve nobody in your shit that way. That way nobody else can tell on you. Because they always say, okay, but 3 people keep a secret and 2 of them have to be dead. And I don't plan to be the one dead. So what's the deal? That's why, because That's why we have a lot of things where a lot of people talk about snitching these days. It's because too many of y'all involved, too many people in the bullshit that y'all do. That way you ain't got to worry about nobody snitching on you. If you do your dirt by, you're lonely, right? That's the motto I used to live by. But then when I got older, a light bulb went off in my head and say, instead of living by the mantra, do your dirt all by your lonely, why even do dirt? That way I don't have to worry about nobody snitching on me at all. That way, because there's nothing to snitch on. How about I just do the right thing? Because what you don't realize is, as you being a product of your environment, doing the right thing was never instilled in you. Doing the right thing was never put into you. So therefore you accentuate and you embrace the nonsense and the bullshit that you were taught by people you should have never ever listened to not one damn word they said, because when you look back at their life, they didn't amount to nothing. They wasn't qualified on no level to be giving nobody any type of advice, but we ate it up. We soaked it up like a sponge because we felt that was the hood OG. He know what he talking about. And then it made him feel like a big man that we was all eating this stuff up. But when we didn't realize, you were learning from a person who ain't got no education. You was learning from a person that's been living in that same place since you been living in that same place. So if he had the type of right wisdom to give to you, he shouldn't even been there no more to give you that type of wisdom, because a certain part of him would said, I'm bouncing up out of here. We listened to a person that had multiple baby mamas all over the place, that was constantly arguing with people, women coming past the house, but because they wasn't doing right. We listened to a person that should have never been taught anything. We listened to a person that kept going to jail over and over and over, getting out doing the same damn thing. And by anybody's definition of what going insane is, that's it. We watched the person literally live out the definition of what insanity is, and then we couldn't process it properly because we ain't had no fathers around to teach us better. That's as close as we got to a father. But we watch a person do insanity over and over and over, and then when we got grown, what did we say we gonna do? We gonna go do that same fucking insanity over and over and over and over, bumping our head, doing the same shit over and over and over, and expecting a different outcome, but the different outcome never happened. All we did was hurt women. All we did was did the same shit, put them on pedestals, made them seem like they were on pedestals, and then every chance we got, we kicked the pedestal, kicked them off the pedestal, broke the pedestal, and then we tried to repair the pedestal, and then once we did repair the pedestal, we went and got another woman and put her on the pedestal. And then we wonder why some of these women are walking around here so bitter, so mad, so frustrated, because they give us chance after chance, time after time. They try to make it what they love, but all they keep running into is the dudes who just keep on fucking them over time after time. Because we as men have gone around and we just say, that's just charge it to the game. Oh, that went bad, charge it to the game. But when she's sitting over there crying, and she's sitting over there, and somebody got to comfort her, and her kids watching her go through that because you done broke her heart, you done willed her in, made her think that you was into this when you really wasn't, made her think that y'all was going somewhere, but the whole time you know that not only were you not going anywhere, you throw that bitch in reverse, you were heading back the other way, while the whole time she thought y'all was going that way. So while she crying, and that shit was real to her, it was all fun and games to you, and the only thing you got to say is charge it to the game. That's her heart, that's her life, but all you got to say is charge it to the game. And then here's the thing, and I know us men, we don't give a shit about this, but the next time she come along to somebody who might just potentially do her right, that brother gotta jump through hoops. That person got to do all type of stuff just to break through all those layers that she's built up, because you and the person before you and the person before that played games with her, didn't take her serious, broke her heart. Now when the person does come and he's ready to do some things, ready to show her that there is a better way, he might end up getting frustrated and walking away, because at that particular point she has what they call scar tissue on her heart. She has scar tissue on her soul, and it's hard to remove that. No amount of cocoa butter you can put on that to make that scar go away. It takes somebody who's really patient. It takes somebody who's willing to put in that time to love those layers away, to love that scar tissue away, and understand that maybe it's a person that has a little foresight, a little forethought, a little great vision to see past all that scar tissue and see that this is a beautiful person. She just needs somebody who just gonna walk with her. She needs somebody who gonna run with her. And then when we get to that point, she needs somebody who gonna fly with her. But right now, she's stuck in the crawl phase. She got you crawling with her, crawling through all the bullshit that the past people took her through, crawling through all the muck, all the heartache, all the lies, all the cheating. But y'all can't even get to the point where you can walk with her because she crawling, because she got you down there on your hands and knees crawling through all that bullshit you got to sift through. You got to try to love her patiently. You got to try to love her slow. You got to try to love her right, because she done seen it all. She done been through it all. She done experienced it all. She done gave her heart completely all to a person who never had no intentions to do it right. So I tell you guys, as time get older, y'all gotta stop playing games, because y'all don't understand the collateral damage that you're causing when you play these games with the women. And as I say all the time, it's like you driving in your car 100 miles an hour. You know, and you just driving, you don't care, you just having fun, but you keep hearing these bumps, boop boop, boop boop, boop boop, you know, but you don't care. But then it gets to a point when you get to a certain age, you start hearing these bumps, and you say, why do I keep hearing these bumps? Right? Then you say, finally, let me stop the car, let me get out the car and see what that is. Right? Then you get out the car. You see, oh, okay, nothing's up under the car. It's fine. But for some strange reason, you get out the car, walk to the back, and look behind the car, and you look back down the road where you came from. And that's where you see all your collateral damage. That's where you see down the road, you look back. That's your life you looking at back that way, because that's where you come from, right? You look back that way and you see all the broken relationships, all the broken promises, all the broken hearts, all the battered women, all the scorned women. You see them all back there. And that's when you get that dose of reality where you go, oh my God, is this what I've done? Is this the culture that I've created in these women? Is this why these women hate me? Is this why my baby mamas are so scorned? This is why every time I try to do right by the baby, she just spit venom at me, just hate me, and I can't understand why. I'm just trying to do right by my baby. Because sometimes the woman get mad at you because you post so much more love into that kid than you ever did in them. And sometimes all they be saying is, why couldn't you just do right by me the way you trying to do right by your child? Because it's something in us that'll make us love our children in a way that we never love the people that we bear the kids by. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that you have a kid by, you're supposed to have, love and be with, because sometimes there are mistakes. Sometimes it's just a one night stand. Sometimes, y'all break up for whatever reason, but she's already pregnant. It happens. But sometimes you can't blame them for being mad at watching you show love, be compassionate and affection and caring to y'all see, and that's something you was never ever to her, because she had resided herself that you just wasn't capable of doing no shit like that, right? But then when that child come along, she see that you are very capable of doing that. And now she got issues inside of her brain because she's starting to think what was wrong with her, that you couldn't show her love like that. You couldn't be kind, caring, and compassionate towards her. So that's why sometimes they get bitter. That's why sometimes they're angry. That's why sometimes they just want to spit that venom, because they see that you are capable of doing what you once promised that you would do, but you never did. And they see it's in you. But now you're starting to make them feel like less. You're starting to make them feel like shit, because now they felt like that they were never good enough for you to show love, kindness, and compassion to them. And that's when they get angry. That's when they get mad. And that's when they do what they do. That's why I say, fellas, once you get past a certain point, you got to stop playing games with them. You got to stop playing games, fellas. And no matter how you look at it, let me put this back up on the screen. No matter how you look at it, right? You could tell yourself that that they understand, right? You can tell yourself that they know it, they get it, and this part is charge it to the game. They understand that at some point, there we go. You can tell yourself all you want that they know this just men being men. But that's the thing that they've come to accept, which I agree with some of you guys. They have come to accept, girl, that's just a man being a man. But why we gotta be that way? Because when women do certain things, we call them hoes, bitches, and skanks right from the jump. When we say, man, she been a big, when she don't do what you think that she should do as a woman in your eyes, she gets downgraded, right? But when we go do stuff and we do stuff that's not right in their eyes, we've conditioned them to just tell each other, girl, he just a dog. You know how they is. But then we'll move. Then you guys brave yourself and move on to the next guy, knowing that girl, knowing that the shoe may fall on the other foot, but you still find it in your heart to love. Sometimes when men get scorned, they go to a whole different round. They hate women. Then all of a sudden they want to beat women. Then all of a sudden they want to, never get their heart ever again because one fucking woman did them wrong. Right? They want to never get their heart to anybody else. They want to become cold and callous. And they just feel like at that particular point, women are evil and I'll never trust another other woman. Right? But they don't understand. They think that just because they did you wrong, the man did the woman wrong, right? That they'll bounce back from this one person doing them wrong. Right? But they don't understand. As the man, you don't understand. You're not the one person. You're not the only person that did her wrong. This is going to be her 5th, 6th, her 7th bounce back from somebody doing her wrong. It's not just you. They have to constantly pick themselves up all the time, regularly, and make things happen, right? They have to do that on a regular basis. But we don't care about stuff like that. We just think that they do it however they see fit. Oh, they'll get over it. But let a woman do you wrong. Then women are never to ever be trusted ever again in life. You feel me? How does that work? You know what I mean? Tell me how that's work. You get hurt and they supposed to deal, but you can't ever get hurt. And if you do, you ain't never gonna deal. Go figure. I'm just trying to tell y'all that as you get older, guys, and this is strictly talking to the guys, and the women done heard me go on enough rants on this podcast and other times about how all women ain't good women. A lot of y'all walk around thinking y'all, no woman. I have never heard a woman that's ever came to me and said, you know what? Hi, my name is Sheila. And before we go any further, I just want to let you know right off the bat, Mario, I ain't shit. I know it, and I've come to grips with it, and I've made peace with it, but I just want to let you know, tell you straight up front, if you want to keep going, then fine. But I just need you to know that I ain't shit. Has a woman ever said that to y'all guys? But more than likely, you've heard this, this bastard did me this particular way, because I know I'm a good woman. I've heard plenty of people say that. Just about every woman I've ever got serious with or went down a particular road with, they tell me that they are good women. And some of it is just not true. I mean, number wise tell you that every woman in the world can't be a good woman, But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about us guys. We got to stop playing games. Give a woman a chance to be a good woman. Because sometimes y'all guys already know you just want to smash, just want to hit. It's never going to lead to nothing right from the get-go. And are we that horny that we would rather just keep going from pointless encounter after pointless encounter instead of finding that one good person? And I know that's easy for me to say because I done been through the bullshit. But if I swear, if I could take it all back and not hurt a single woman and just find that one good quality person as opposed to trying to get notches on my belt, I would trade that shit in for a heartbeat right now. Because one good ass woman is worth her weight in gold. One good woman is worth 50 not right women, worth 50 women that you can't even remember their name, worth 50 of those pointless encounters, because one good quality woman ends up being the mother of your children, ends up being that person that's taking care of you when you can't take care of yourself. All these fly-by-night encounters with other people are just that, fly-by-night. One good quality woman will make a life. But we can't understand that. But we think we got to have multiple. One good woman is multiple women. You know what I mean? When y'all spice it up and keep it done, keep it interesting. When she changing her heritage style, she might role play. You know what I mean? When you feel like she is your very best friend, you feel like that if I can't have her right next to me or in my arms or in my direct path, I feel like I can't breathe. Every time I try to imagine myself without her, I feel like I'm about to suffocate. I would take that any day over 50 big thick booty women. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's all physical. And no matter how good y'all men think y'all are, no matter how big your package is or how much you think you're slinging, you ain't gonna be in that room no more than 10, 15 minutes. And then you're done. She on to the next person or you on to the next person. But that one good quality woman, that's got a potential to last a whole lot longer, you know? And I'm going to leave it at that. I just want to tell y'all guys, stop playing games, all right? This your man Mario hanging out right here on Beat Break 87 FM, inside of the Random Select Podcast. Y'all know what it is. It's the podcast that's all about thought-provoking talk, baby, right here on Beat Break 87 FM, where it's everything podcast. And Mario is out. I've done my time. Y'all got to just be better, love each other, and put on your damn mask so you can stay safe, all right? Until then, this is Mario and the Random Select is out. See you guys next time.